Demon Attack was developed and released by iMagic in 1982 for the Atari 2600. It features that epic silver foil box art similar to one of my other favorite games, Cosmic Arc. If it's got that silver foil, it's gotta be good. The story of Demon Attack is pretty simple. Marooned on the icy planet Krybor, you watch legions of eerie creatures scream overhead. They hover ominously. Attack and destroy them, or be destroyed! Armed with your laser cannon, you confront the ultimate challenge: survive. And so, here it is, Demon Attack. At a glance, it looks like your typical fixed shooter. You control your laser cannon at the bottom of the screen while enemies hover overhead and shoot at you. However, astute viewers may notice something familiar about this because it looks an awful lot like Phoenix, which was released on the 2600 2 years prior. Atari, which held the rights to Phoenix, also felt like it was a little too familiar and actually sued iMagic over copyright infringement. The lawsuit was settled out of court and iMagic was allowed to continue producing it though. Really, it's not like they were even marketing the game as being that similar to Phoenix. About all I can tell from this commercial for Demon Attack is that it was, tough?
Which of you iMagic experts has created the toughest game for Atari's video system?
Demon Attack! Tough!
Hello there, fire breath.
You not good enough for Demon Attack!
Just for that demon.
You in trouble! I'm winning!
Good work, Voltar. Demon Attack really is tough. iMagic's Demon Attack.
Tough.
I feel like the two games are similar, but definitely not exactly the same. Certainly the first level of Demon Attack looks a lot like Phoenix with the way the birds flap their wings and swoop around the screen, but the enemies tend to change a bit over time in Demon Attack, and in later stages look nothing like the birds from Phoenix at all. And I don't want to sit here all day comparing the two, but Phoenix has the flying saucer bosses at the end of each stage, while that's totally not a thing in Demon Attack. The stages here are just comprised of a certain amount of enemies before eventually you move on to the next stage. Also, in Phoenix, it's possible to shoot off the larger bird's wings, which eventually grow back, whereas in Demon Attack, the flying demons split off into multiple smaller demons that swoop down at you after being shot. So, two totally, mostly, pretty much separate things going on here. Okay, are we good on the whole Phoenix versus Demon Attack thing? Alright then, moving on. Demon Attack is actually a pretty enjoyable shooter in its own right. There's a creepy tension that builds up at the start of each stage. The sound effects of the demons descending toward you start off slow and then begin to ratchet up, adding a certain sense of chaos and panic while you're moving around your laser cannon back and forth. There's a catch here though, and once you figure it out, it will make life a little easier. First, the demons seem to move in the same pattern throughout, and second, only the demon on the bottom row actually shoots at you. The rest just hang around and don't do much of anything. So you can just focus all of your attention on the guy at the bottom. He'll respawn a number of times throughout the level, and once he stops respawning, then you can take out the remaining demons and finish up the stage. The enemies get tougher though, and sometimes they shoot at you in these long lasers, while other times they throw scatter shots. You've got multiple difficulty levels as well as variants where you can guide your missiles. Also, check out the level of details on the enemies here. Unlike most Atari games where the bad guys are just one basic color, there's multiple colors and a level of texture here that's fairly remarkable. This came out in 1982, so it was about 5 years into the 2600's lifespan, but still seems ahead of its time. I also like the overall color scheme with the deep blue color on the ground signifying the icy planet's surface. It's just a nice different look when most games like this had pretty bland colors in the background. The two-player co-op mode also has a twist to it. Instead of trading turns or playing at the same time, the two-player mode actually puts both players in control of the same laser cannon. The cannon changes color about every 4 seconds, signifying that control has switched between player 1 or player 2. So you gotta pay attention. I think I'd rather just have two players playing simultaneously, but maybe this was a way to force the kid who was really good at video games to share equal game time with his little brother who was probably terrible at them. Overall, Demon Attack is another solid space shooter on Atari 2600. If you enjoyed games like Space Invaders but just want something a little different, you can find Demon Attack super cheap on secondary markets and it's worth picking up. As always, thank you for watching, please don't text and drive, and I'll see you next time on Friday Night Arcade.